Now, joining us now, all the way from the United Kingdom, is our very good friend, Calvin Emeka, who is the publisher of ACLsports.com. Calvin, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Game On. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. There's Toyin Bitoye here, and of course, Wale Adigun as well. Now, this is a major scandal as far as a lot of people are concerned, because it shows a Premier League referee showing particular disdain for an international manager, and of course, a club that is based in the northwest of England. Now, there's so much to talk about regarding this, but what is the reaction in England? But because we've been seeing quite a lot of the media, both in print and electronic media, over the last 24 hours.
Thanks for having me today. I, Toyin and Wale.
Welcome to Game On.
This is so bad for referees in the Premier League. I kept watching this last night. I'll tell you the very funny thing. 2 days ago, my wife was telling me that they were supposed to meet with referees somewhere in Wembley, and David Coote was lined up to have a talk with other referees, with other upcoming referees. This was defended on, I think it was on Sunday or Saturday. That's when she mentioned this. And then this video came out on Monday, and the suspension and all that have followed. I cannot for the life of me understand how that recording even happened in the first place. I am stunned by it. Every time I watch it, I'm always stunned by it. Like, how did you knew you were being recorded, and you kept on saying the stuff you were saying? Why? I can't understand it. And then flip it over again. The person who recorded this and decided to leak it, what kind of a human being was that? But that aside, if you go through by an ex-post, David Coote for me has been somebody I have been on his case for years. I've always been on his case that he's one of the most incompetent referees I've ever seen. Really bad. He makes some decisions that I think, dude, you should not be on the Premier League level.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you short, Calvin. And that's the reason why a lot of people are actually saying that maybe Liverpool have a right to feel aggrieved, because David Coote has actually been at the center of some of the most atrocious refereeing decisions that Scousers and Liverpool feel particularly aggrieved by. Recall the Martin Odegaard handball at Anfield last season as well. And those who are saying that, he's not the only one, that it seems as if there is a conspiracy against Liverpool. Recall the high boot of Jeremy Doku on McAllister. Recall, I think, Jordan Pickford's X-rated tackle on Virgil van Dijk.
He was the man in charge, all true.
No, he wasn't the one in charge. He wasn't the one in charge, but he was in charge. For example, over the weekend, Mohamed Salah seemed to have been hauled down while through on goal against Aston Villa. He said that was not a foul, and he was the man in the center of that particular match. Does Liverpool have a right to feel aggrieved that, the referees are targeting them unfairly?
You say this today, and I have my phone filled with complaints from Arsenal fans saying the same thing, that there's a conspiracy by PGMOL to stop Arsenal from winning the Premier League. And they will atomize everything, just as you have atomized now for Liverpool. They will atomize everything. I have watched football for decades. There is nothing that referees are doing in the Premier League now. Absolutely nothing that they're doing in the Premier League now that did not happen has not happened in the last 20 years before now. What we have seen now is that, as I said earlier this morning, there are too many programs, there are too many things, there's social media, that every decision is put under the microscope, where people are checking that he did this, the referee didn't do that. Listen, that I can forgive. For me, a lot of these things I put down to incompetence. A lot of people say it is corruption. I would never agree to that. Never. Not in my life. See, what I'm very, very particular about, and I'm desperate that a lot of us in the media should not ignore this. When we destroy the power, or when we destroy the sanctity of referees and refereeing, we might as well abandon the sport. We have to. We cannot live in an atmosphere. We cannot drive a narrative that is almost talking about corruption all the time. When, this is very important, when we have no clear case, when we have no proven case of this corruption. So that's why I would always err first on the side of incompetence. That's what I would do first until it is proven that yes, there's some corrupt practices here, there, and we can follow the money trail to show that this referee was bribed to do this and was bribed to do that. Yeah. Until then, I would always say incompetence.
And I agree with you, Calvin. I also think it was a bit of naivety on the part of that referee. I don't know what it is with people these days with being recorded, saying outrageous or doing outrageous things, and somebody is recording you and you are not worried and ensuring that it is deleted immediately. I think for me it's a lot of naivety, and I think it's okay for us to hold referees to very high standards, considering how delicate the game has become these days, and how decisions or indecisions of referees has hampered a lot of results and affected a lot of people and all of that. So I think it's okay to hold referees to high standards, but I think referees should try to live above board and not be naive. And for those who like being recorded, saying and doing atrocious things, you never know when these things will blow up in your faces, like we've seen with this guy and in some other cases.
But Calvin, just before we let you go,
I wanted to quickly ask a question about the fact that, first things first, I understand his friend who was in that video also has been suspended or sacked by his company for Scythe Barnes, who are also a recruitment agency. His name is Ben Coote, by the way. But I have a very, very interesting view of this. I think that there is some overreaction here. I think that suddenly we are becoming moral police. Because we also know what those managers, what football players say in their own privacy about certain topics as far as the game is concerned. Wale, this is a case of him being caught.
Yoruba proverb,
see, everybody's a thief, the person with the cash that be right? That is the classic case here. And I think that there is some overreaction in here. There is some overreaction here. Fine, I understand it's suspended, which is the right call.
So overreaction. Don't forget that there is the FA statute states very clearly that you cannot use a person's nationality in reference to a statement.
I understand all of that.
He clearly called Jurgen Klopp a German.
Yeah, I know. I understand that. But I'm saying that the general reaction that has trailed this, calling into competence of Premier League referees because of this, I think is not needed. Honestly, that's what I think.
Your opinion?
I said at the top of the program that this has come at a really bad time, and the reason why I said that was, well, right in line with what you're saying, is because even from last season, a particular fan base, I'll call them Arsenal fans, have been the most vociferous about this
agenda
feeling that this feeling that referees are against them. So for this video to surface, it does not help the narrative. Is now giving that impression that when we search deeper, we might see that it is not incompetence, like I've been saying, that it is actually because there are deeper evil things underlying, which I don't think is possible. And this is so funny. Liverpool fans, like Tune has outlined there, say that Coote has been this and that against them. So if Liverpool fans are saying that, what are Arsenal fans holding when they do all that they do?
What about Man U fans or Chelsea fans or Villa
Everybody has some complaints.
But so,
exactly. That for me is the point I'm making. Many of us come from the generation where once a decision is made,
it's final.
It happens.
Yeah.
We dust ourselves up and continue with it and say it happens. It is a luck. That's how football works out. That for me is how it should be.
Calvin, we really have to go. But thank you so much for joining us tonight, all the way from the United Kingdom, giving your thoughts regarding what has been a major scandal in English football over the last 24 hours. We'll be able to get your thoughts further as this continues to develop. But thank you so much for your time. It's always a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.